with the two hands and brace up for a very, very strong, push. It's like a pregnant woman. There's big expectation and big contraction and labor pain. You go through it, the baby is born, you are happy. If that baby is alive, you have the joy of birth. And that is what we are working at. It's not just because we want to inflict pain on anybody. No, it's because we share the same value. We want this country to grow. There's no other way out of it unless we invest in our today prosperity and opportunity.
Okay, Umar Farouk.
Mr. President, you voted 4.91 trillion for security in this country. And in the last 5 years, security is up 14.5 trillion. But the security problem is still all over the place. Also, has been minimized here and there, but at least the money voted have not, people felt there should be some, satisfactory results based on the funding. When President Buhari took over from President Jonathan, he investigated the service chiefs, and there are a lot of recoveries, abuses, corruption was all over the place. Are you considering to investigate the security chiefs of Muhammadu Buhari and plan and to ensure that the money given for security are judicially utilized?
For today, I have confidence in my security architecture of the country. It is very, very unfortunate that, 2 decades of wanton killing. I remember when I jumped into the campaign, I had to stop the campaign to pay condolence visits to Maiduguri, Katsina, Kaduna, others. Today, you can still travel the roads. Before now, it was impossible. It takes one incident to mess up an organized environment. It takes one. You cannot say the military are not prepared when the 9th Brigade Battalion was attacked. You can't laugh at your nation because of that. The enemies within and without are watching what you are doing. You have to be prepared 100%, 24 hours of the time to make sure that people are safe. Today, that is not the story any longer. People can leave Kaduna and still go towards Kafancha by road. Well, the road may not be that smooth, and all you want. Gradually, we'll be there. We cry about borrowing. Today, I have 60 from 98% thereabout of debt service. I brought it down to 68 thereabout %. Give credit, please. We are managing it. We have exited what used to be a problem of ways and means lending, where we have no financial control and fiscal discipline. More money going down for development. More revenue being generated are being distributed. Today we have autonomy for local governments. As some of you, including Otitoju, will remember my lamentation, my argument with Obasanjo about the need for grassroots development when I created 37 local government development areas for Lagos State. Go there now, you see development. You see rapid contact with the people at the grassroots. That is where people live. They are not living with me in Abuja now, except bureaucrats. And we have to do that. Well, I'll say I'm drawing water from a dry well. And Nigeria is moving forward. Regardless of critics, this is a budget of restoration and hope, and that Nigeria is on the path of recovery. We can't finish the job in one calendar year, and I'm not giving myself an excuse. It's only 18 months.
He
Okay,
asked whether you are going to probe service chiefs that you...
I'm not probing anybody, service chiefs or service chiefs. You cannot disrespect the institution because of a threat of a probe. And you cannot fight this war without investments in technology, in weaponry, and training. There might be leakages here and there, not wholesale. We put a very effective control mechanism in place to monitor our budgetary releases. And those funds are being judiciously used. Consider the welfare of our servicemen and women. Consider it. They are living in and operating in a very serious conditions. We have a huge country, a very huge one, and a lot of forests, unoccupied spaces. Give them credit for what they are doing. I am proud of what they are doing to date. No need to probe.
All right. Thank you, Mr. President. My question is still on the costs of living crisis, which has been described as the worst in a generation, and then the budget as well. Your plan is to, inflation is currently at 34%. Your plan in the current budget, in the 2025 budget, is to bring it down to 15%.
Yeah.
How do you plan to do that?
Okay. One, produce more for consumption locally. Spot export, imports. Give reasonable level of funding and assistance, low interest rate to farmers. Improve the security, as you see in the budget, so that they can return to their farms and, produce more food. And encourage the procurement and manufacturing of drugs in Nigeria. We have what it takes. Talk to Professor Patrick. He's doing an excellent job. Trying to encourage. All I need to do is put the incentive in place in order for them to harness what is possible in Nigeria. It is about time we do all of those. Bring the cost of governance down. We try.
So I wanted to follow up on that and ask, aside healthcare that you've mentioned as your priority for more production, you said to produce more. What other sectors are you targeting? Are you looking forward to in terms of more production?
Drug production. We are talking of agriculture. We're talking of export incentives. Harnessing our marine ecosystem. Bring affordable transportation. We have this compressed natural gas program that is taking hold. You bring the cost down gradually.
So that was a follow-up. So my question is regarding foreign direct investments that you've been working on. We've seen Shell make commitments to invest $5 billion in the energy field.
Yes.
We've seen Total Energies as well. What other sectors are you expecting investments to come into next year? And how are you going to attract investors to come, entice them to come to Nigeria?
Incentive for auto manufacturing.
Okay.
Today, we have solid mineral in abundance. Kaduna has the largest deposit of lithium. That's around the same thing. And if you encourage electric vehicles, plus the compressed natural gas, it will attract automobile assembly in Nigeria, instead of this second-hand market that is not creating jobs.
So what incentives specifically? You said incentives.
Tax incentives.
Is it okay? Tax incentives.
Tax holidays.
Okay.
Land rebates. Manageable pays.
Okay.
A lot of broad-based economic program that is attractive to foreign investments.
Okay. I want to take us back to the matter of the tax reform bills that you came up with. It's still generating controversy in the country. Some people are not happy. They are complaining that there wasn't enough time to engage stakeholders so that they can come to some unanimity on the matter. I know that you've met with some governors and some leaders, especially from northern Nigeria. What is the situation on the tax bill? What steps are you prepared to take so that we can put this matter to bed? And then secondly, you talked about your desire to reduce the cost of governance. Many people will say you have not, yes, you took some steps earlier, but they will say those steps are not enough. You have a very large cabinet, and they will want you to do something about the size of your cabinet. Is it something that you are prepared to do? Basically, what do you intend to do to bring down the cost of governance?
I'm not prepared to bring down the size of my cabinet. One, I saw the need when I put them together. You don't give somebody an assignment that they cannot fulfill. No. Job description must be efficient and effective. Nigeria is a large country, and I'm glad you are here. If you are to entertain over 200 million people, just on entertainment, calculate how many stewards will you require. That's just, for entertainment. Not the cleaners, not the desk tables. Excuse me, let's pay attention to efficiency. Efficiency, effectiveness is the hallmark of the philosophy behind that cabinet. I'm not ready to shrink a little bit of it. I need them.
And they are all adding value.
Effectively. Show me one. And I argue with you.
Well, just as
show me one.
Well,
that is a second part of the question.
okay. Yes, I was going to ask a
That's the tax. The tax.
Tax reform is here to stay. We cannot just continue to do what we were doing years in today's economy. We cannot retool this economy with the old broken folks. The essence of the tax reform is to eliminate colonial days assumptions in our tax environment. I was once the governor of Lagos State, and I remember what I met. And I'm proud of what I left and what it is today. It's a large state now, and it's still expanding. The greatest real estate value is here. You have to accommodate all of that. You have to put that one into the economic calculations.
Yes, Mr. President, but it's not the rationale for your tax reforms bill that is in question. That is understood, Mr. President.
Good.
Yes. I think what especially critics are arguing is that it seems to be rushed, and that you could have perhaps preceding, just before the presentation to the National Assembly, you could have sought maybe for more dialogue, a political solution to preempt the outcry and resistance that you faced afterwards.
Every tax situation without outcry is not a tax. Well, you cannot satisfy uniformly the larger community of tax evaders Look at this tax reform. It's pro-poor. The vulnerables are not to pay taxes. All we ask for is widen the net, bake the cake larger, so that we can share a larger meal. What is the need? We still ask for this consultation, no matter how long I delay it. The hallmark of a good leader is the ability to do what you have to do at the time it has to be done. That's my philosophy. You have given me the mandate to govern. Let me govern within the limit of my capacity. And I believe I have that capacity. I believe so. That's why I went into the race. I am focused, laser focused on what Nigeria needs and what I must do for Nigerians. It's just not going to be El Dorado for everybody. But the new dawn is here. I'm convinced. And you should be convinced. You should help propagate that conviction.
I'm dialing back, Mr. President, to the budget. The value in Naira of the current budget that you presented is 49.7 trillion. But there are some people who have worked it out and said that in terms of dollar value, because of the depreciation of the Naira, we probably lost about $8 billion we have to value. How are you going to meet that deficit?
I don't spend in dollars. I only associate with it because of the global transaction. But Naira, for Naira, it's okay. Even the target of this administration is based upon what we earn in dollar converted to Naira. When you look at the petroleum revenue. But today I can tell you, push me to my brag mode. In the last 3 months, I've not taken a penny from NNPC before I meet my other obligations.
Quickly.
Yes.
To me, that's excellent.
Yes, well done.
That's excellent. I repeat, without falling back to the old order, without going into ways and means, I've met all obligations.
Mr. President, are
Sir.
you marking yourself?
Eh?
Are you marking, when you say that's excellent, are you scoring yourself?
Why not? Will you score me?
Shouldn't Nigerians do it?
If you help me to. But I should grade myself if I did my own work right.
Well,
Sir, I wanted to, yes, I wanted to come back
break,
to,
and then we'll come back.
sir, I wanted to come back to the issue of the tax reform. One of the key contention there is the VAT. And I wanted to know if, you said the tax reform has come to stay, but I wanted to know if you are prepared to make any concessions regarding that VAT that seemed to be problematic.
Why do you want to know that today? Tax matters are subject of debate, reviews, negotiations until you reach consensus. That's all I'm going to say about that. I don't mind cutting edges. I will.
On that note, Mr. President, we'll take a short break here on the program.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's first media chat here in Ikoyi, Lagos. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Good morning, Marina Station and all the passengers.
Efficient, it's comfortable.
This development will go a long way in reducing congestion and emission.
The trains are a long-term solution to Lagos traffic challenges.
This is where we take the final, decisions on policies, programs of government. I will have to ensure that, the narration of Lagos as a PLC is taken very, very seriously.
This is a major pedestrian bridge linking Oyinbo here to Apapa Road over there.
With this overpass, we are providing what we call a permanent solution.
This place is one of the most dangerous areas at the biosecurity environment.
This can go into the news and every crimes of your neighbor.
Welcome from that break. You are watching President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's first media chat, and we're live here in Ikoyi, Lagos. Now, Mr. President, thank you very much for staying with us. Now, let's look at a number of other issues. Food security. Nigerians, the last time you were in Lagos, they were saying, being power, that is, we are hungry. And that's what people are saying all over the country. And you have a livestock, Ministry of Livestock Economy. You've been talking about agriculture. Now, how are you going to address, one, the issue of clashes between farmers and herders, and how to put food on the table so that Nigerians will not be, engaging in stampede for free food for palliatives?
Well, thank you very much. It is very sad to look back and very promising to look at what we are doing now. There was never a Ministry of Livestock Development. It was stopped. I've been traveling around the globe to campaign and sell Nigeria. Hopefully, all of you will help lift this country from this moment on. And livestock is to turn a disaster to prosperity for Nigeria. We have what it takes. We have the arable land, we have animal stock, we have the opportunity. We just have to remove the conflicting element and commercialize the venture. And I went to Brazil, saw what is happening there. Within 2 days, I got a pledge of $2.5 billion. And they have been here to visit Nigeria, to turn what we seen as tragedy to opportunity and prosperity. I've been warned not to grade myself. I won't. But that is a promise for this country. And that's up till the level of cow horn is being converted in other climes, just as Brazil and the rest of the Americans. Why not take advantage of that here? We can feed ourselves, we can export and feed other nations. Our people, some of the ministers are there in Saudi Arabia right now discussing the opportunity for food growth and supply, for more investments in our agricultural businesses. Why are we not embracing commodity exchange to do a whole lot of other businesses that's around agriculture? We will do.
Will you also consider price control? Because it's like people are just doing what they like.
I don't believe in it. Sorry, Babajide, I don't believe in price control. I don't.
What can we do, sir, to bring down
We just
food prices?
continue to supply the market. We work hard to supply the market.
But there are middlemen who are making life unbearable for them.
Well, they will, you see, it's a question of supply and demand. It will come to a stage where you cannot hold no more. It will come to a stage. The economic variables will work against you. Now, let's take, for example, the fuel prices and the petrol pump. I introduced Naira for dollar change. Yes. For weeks, they didn't want to comply. They were arguing with me. Okay, leave it to free market. I left it. Now the prices are coming down gradually.
Yes.
Okay. The market is being saturated. No monopoly, no oligopoly. You have a free market economy flowing. And people are learning management. My friend used to have he bragged to me, he has 5 Rolls Royce. And he brought a nice Jeep here. The other day, I saw him in his Honda. I called. Oh, he said, why? He said, that's where you put me. I said, I didn't put you there. He said, that is because of fuel prices. He could no longer maintain 5 limo type of vehicles. It's not negative to learn to manage. You learn to control your electricity bill, switch off the light, let's learn to manage.
Is Nigeria looking to export food commodities to Saudi or other countries?
Oh, sure. Why not? Take advantage of the export and good commodity prices.
But people would say that we're not producing enough for our own consumption.
Yes, we pay attention to that, yes. But I say we will give more incentive to the farmers, low interest rate, borrowing, mechanized farming. It's not done to go back to my grandfather's method of farming. It's not possible any longer. Let's make it manageable and sexier. to stay on the tractor and harvest corn and export commodities. I think it's better for us in Nigeria. We are getting there. I have over 2,000 tractors coming to this country for mechanized farming.
Mr. President, is fighting corruption a priority for you? If it is, what are the areas that you're looking at?
Corruption in all ramifications is bad for the people. First of all, pay enough attention to the causes. Why are the people corrupt at all? The lack of social amenities, the lack of needs in some areas, lack of funding for their children's education. There are so many anti-corruption mechanisms that you can put in place that will help the people not to be corrupt. Pay them good and living wages. I have moved from 35,000 to 70,000. To me, that's anti-corruption. And if I can earn more, I've given more money to the state and local government level. I've been transparent with my earnings. Every month there is a publication as to how much this country is making.
But Mr. President, it doesn't address grand corruption. There's petty corruption and there's grand corruption. Only recently, the EFCC, published the fact that one person owns 735 houses in Abuja alone. One person.
And we got it. You don't know how long it has started. It did fantastic infrastructure. He had rule of houses. But we got it. That's anti-corruption too. We got it for the public. Disclosure, ability to stem corruption is part of the instrument of EFCC. That is why they are discovering all sorts of inefficiencies in the system, block all the loopholes where anybody can just game the system. Part of the anti-corruption, removal of subsidy too, is anti-corruption. It is very, very difficult to say you will eliminate it. You will reduce it to the barest minimum. Meet the people's needs. Help the people grow. Help them with the education of their children. Our student loan is part of anti-corruption. No parents should lament how to encourage their children in university education. Today it's working for larger populations. Larger part of it, 60-something%. At the University of Maiduguri, I have somebody called. Say, imagine a little contribution from my daughter in the university for me to start business. That's part of tuition fee allowances. We are helping one another. The society is moving out of illiteracy to literacy. I enjoy debate how many and what type of courses are being offered in the universities these days to improve science, knowledge, and technology. We just continue to work at it. But I'm sure we are not taking our eyes off those serious matters.
Well, Mr. President, thank you for your time. As we begin to wrap up, I mean, people are watching you at home. What would you like to say to Nigerians? It's Christmas season, it's New Year season. What promises do you have for them in the year 2025?
2025 is a very promising year. Let me first of all thank Nigerians for having confidence in me to be the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I'm very, very proud of that. And I don't want you to think I will take you for granted at any given time. I'm here to serve. It's all about service. And I'll do it with all my heart. I seek your cooperation at all the time. I seek your understanding. I understand the trouble you've been through, the economic problems. It's just 18 months that I've taken over the reign of this country. The promise is there. We are on the right path. We stay the course. We maintain focus. We share love with each other. Let us believe in ourselves and in our country. Yeah. Tomorrow will bring a glorious dawn. Thank you very much.
On that note, we come to the end of this presidential media chat with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Thank you very much, Maokwe Ogun Yusuf of Channels Television. Thank you, Nnamdi Odipo of Nigerian Television Authority. Thank you, Umar Farouk from Voice of America, VOA. Thank you very much. Azu Ishekwene from Leadership Newspaper. Thank you, Ruth Olurumbi from Bloomberg News. And thank you, Babajude Kolade Otitoju from TV Continental TVC. I've been your moderator. My name is Ruben Abati. Bye for now, and thank you very much for watching. Thank you, Mr. President.
Muhammad Ali was born and raised in Louisville, Kentucky on January 17, 1942. His birth name was Cassius Marcellus Clay Jr. He began training as an amateur boxer at age 12 and at